This is Pong. Pong is a very simple game. You and your opponent control paddles on opposite sides of a screen. A ball will bounce between the two sides. Hit the ball with a paddle, and it will go to the other side of the screen. If the ball goes past your paddle, your opponent gets a point. First one to 10 points wins. Like I said, a very simple game. Easily shown as one of the first examples of video games that the public ever saw. Of course, there were video games that universities experimented with, given the fact that computers were the size of rooms, but Pong was the public's first true experience of something new and exciting. Pong wasn't the first experience for many people of a concept we can call the win state. The win state, as defined by many a game theorist, not MatPat game theorist, the person who theorizes about games and play, you get it. The win state is functionally overcoming a challenge, accomplishing the goal, a variety of things. It is the you did it state of a game. It's been present within our sporting culture for as long as we have had sports. You get more points or less points depending on the game, so on and so forth. An interesting thing when looking at that is that sports are present within damn near every single culture on Earth. We have, as a part of ourselves, a longing to play. That games are inherently baked into our understanding of humanity. But because too often these games have structure and rules, and the way we have developed these games, we tend to think of them way too often in simple win and loss terms. Follow me here. Let's take a look at an example. There are some games with very obvious and very clear win states. However, to get to those win states, you have to fail over and over and over again. Not through the mechanics of the game, no. That's something like a Dark Souls or a roguelike. The loss is fundamentally part of the building of the mechanical knowledge that you gain to further win at the game. No, what I'm speaking on is save scumming. Take Metal Gear Solid, you save regularly, and if you fail, you go back to your previous save, and you don't fail. You've learned more, you gain more knowledge, but fundamentally, the save is not a mechanical feature of the game, but a practical feature of the game. It's so you can take a break and go do something else, but you have turned the saving itself into a practical feature of the game. Another example of this is the classic point-and-click adventures. That is always the first go-to bit of advice when anybody starts playing a Sierra point-and-click adventure game. Save scum the fuck out of it. Save scumming fundamentally means that you can make more choices and more risks and get bigger rewards because of it. But here's my question on that idea. Did you win? Or did you lose several times? Fundamentally, you have just rejected the idea that you could ever have a lose state in those games. The only option the game has at a certain point is to let you win. Did you truly accomplish the win state, or did you incrementally lost so much that you took tiny steps to get to it? And realistically, does the difference even matter? Take another example. Oftentimes, one of the main ways people engage with the fighting game genre is through the training lab. In order to get better at the game, one must familiarize themselves with the controls, familiarize themselves with the timing and how all the mechanics interlock and work together, and people will engage with this practice not just as a chore, as a thing that you must do in order to play the game, but the practice itself is a form of play. People get enjoyment from labbing and trying new things and playing with combos. But there's no win and loss state in these training labs. Fundamentally, the only win and losses in a fighting game come when you are actually battling your opponent. But the training lab portion of fighting games is an integral part of them. But it's not a win-loss state, it's just improvement and challenge upon yourself. Another angle, because I got a lot of them. What about games as books? It'll make sense in a second. Can you really win a story? Take the classic example, the Stanley Parable. There is no loss state in the Stanley Parable. There's simply 1,000 ways to win. No matter what you do, you will win. So is it really a win, or is it just the end of a story? In another way, look at RPGs, so specifically the ones inspired by Japanese-styled ones. While mechanically there can be some challenge, there is a chance to die, to lose. Fundamentally, there's no choices to make it so you can only lose. That's the interesting thing. So far, all the things I've mentioned, the loss state is basically you don't get to play anymore. But the game is still there. You still get to play. You still get to win. Losing doesn't exist. You do not lose a book. You don't win a book. You finish it. You get to the last page, you have a deeper understanding of the text, and you move on, you grow with it. While there can be challenge in a game, you can save scum, you can practice, you can grind, to the point where the game doesn't want you to lose. The game can't let you lose, the game will never let you lose. Because there's always a chance to win. Let's double back to sports real quick. Sports are a little bit more concrete in this. You can lose a game, right? You play the game, you set the plays, you do the actions, whether it's baseball and swinging a bat, running around the bases, or football with defense and offense, rugby, cricket, whatever sport comes to mind. Once the game is over, there is a winner and a loser. Clear, plain, and simple. You cannot redo a game. It's over. It's done. But there are other games in a season. You lost this game, but what about the game tomorrow? What about the game after that? What about the season as a whole? You can still go to the World Series, the Super Bowl, the World Cup. You always have more chances to win and succeed. Even here, when winning and losing are incredibly concrete as a concept, there's no chance of redoing, there's no save scumming. The concept can still be muddled if one chooses that perspective. And then what of sandbox games? Like Minecraft, VR chat, or just, I don't know, putting on Tony Hawk and just skateboarding around. There's no true win condition. There's no lose condition. You're just playing. It's like holding your toys and playing war and combat. There is no way to lose because there's no way to win. They're just activities you are willingly engaging in. Not even to mention aspects of play that I consider that other people may not even. Take Doom, for example. We all know Doom. Doom is a landmark title of the first-person shooter genre. But to me, that's only half of Doom. The other half of Doom is the community, the map makers, the waddlers? Forgers. Wad forgers. The people who go and make maps and new ways to play this classic game. To me, that itself is a form of play. It's also a form of creation. Much like how in Minecraft you make anything you want, here you make the map, let other people explore it. But the creation of such is a game to an extent. So how do you win? You finish the project? You get people to like it? That just sounds like the gamification of art and creation, and, well, that's a whole other can of worms. Is the only way to lose this form of playing Doom just not finish the project? It is a form of play, but fundamentally there is no win, there is no loss. There's just the pure act of creation. And on that note, willingly engaging in personal challenges. The Nuzlocke is a prime example of this. You take a game that has a very distinct win condition. You take a game that has a story-based win condition. You get your Pokemon, you go beat the Elite Four, you do whatever story event that particular game entails. But then some people came up with the Nuzlocke. The Nuzlocke is a personal challenge within Pokemon that denotes certain rules. If a Pokemon loses enough HP, it's considered dead and can no longer be used. You're only allowed to catch one Pokemon for area of the map. And this is a harsher challenge, but the game never enforces it. It's only a game in your head. Same with limited runs. How many runs of a Dark Souls game have you seen where a person chooses not to wear armor and only uses a random weapon that they like? Can you beat The Legend of Zelda without using items? Can you beat Super Metroid without ever firing a shot? But again, the game's not enforcing that, you are. Same with speedruns. The game isn't telling you to beat a 30-hour game in an hour. Nowhere does it want you to do that. It wants you to experience all the things. Again, like I said earlier, games don't want you to lose. They want you to win. They just might not want you to win that fast. And again, it's a personal challenge. It's something you are imposing upon yourself. You're not playing the win-lose paradigm that the game set out. You now have your own internal win-lose condition that is real nonetheless. You can succeed or fail at a speedrun, but the game doesn't know this. It's only on you. You are the only one who's doing this to yourself. Hell, even this video you are watching right now is emblematic of this idea. This is part of a video jam session. 48 hours to make a video essay. The concept is win and lose. The concept is win and lose. This is what I came up with. It's a challenge to see if you can be creative, analytical, and execute the idea in enough time. But if jam isn't a game or a contest, there's no wins or losses there. Sure, some jam projects you might get like bonus recognition or maybe a cash prize depending on who's putting it on, but this isn't one of those. This is a personal challenge. This is a speed run. Congratulations, everybody! Here's the speed run category for video essays. But it's a personal challenge. There is a lose condition, and it's not succeeding. If I don't finish the video, if I don't get it uploaded in time, I feel like I fail. I feel like I lose because I wasn't able to accomplish the challenge I set forth for myself. But finishing means I win. Winning and losing is not a concept to throw out. No. More, this was made to make you ask the question, change your perspective for a moment. Rethink what games might mean for us. Win, lose, or other. Go play a game of catch. How will you win it?